Alright, I'm gonna make this one short and sweet. Spragels. Upload a video earlier today. 11 things you should never do in Unite. Pretty much all these things, pretty fine, except for number 10. When we get to number 10.
This, the better you will do in your games. This one is a huge pet peeve of mine, but don't do the weird clear. I don't know what this weird clear is, but it's where you run past the first two Bumblebees, you try to get the other two, you're slowly hitting them. By that time, the enemies have come all the way over from the other side, and they're getting the last hits. Like, please, I don't know who does the weird clear. Never do the weird clear. You don't need it. You don't need to do it. Just try to get the last hits with your allies. Try to share 2 and 2. It's okay if you don't get them all. Don't do the weird clear. More often than doing the other clear, you can get yourself into trouble and actually lose experience to the other side if you do this. It happens all the time. Please stop with the weird clear. Finally.
Okay. I have beef with this. Here's the thing. I don't have a lot of friends who play Unite. I don't queue very often with friends. I'm usually playing solo queue all the time. We all know solo queue, in pretty much any team-based game, is a fucking nightmare. Because you're getting paired with random people. And also, for the record, I'm a fighting game person. I play fighting games primarily. I don't like team-based games. Team-based games make me angry. Because I have the opposite problem that, like, people who love team-based games have. Like, because everyone knows the whole, like, well, the reason why people play MOBAs was because you have, like, a bunch of teammates to carry you, and you always have someone to blame. I hate the fact that I hate it when, if I'm losing in a game, that it's for reasons beyond my control, like my teammates. I don't like having teammates. I don't like having random factors outside of myself that can decide whether I win or lose, unless I'm, like, going in knowing that, like, that's, like, the whole point of the game. Like, I can play a Mario Party, but I can't play, like, a truly competitive, like skill-based thing and have, like, some random element involved that will determine whether I win or lose. And in the case of MOBAs, it's always your teammates. So, I play a lot of Pokemon in this game that don't necessarily require, but I have a preference for Pokemon that utilize stacking items very well. Mostly, like, some of the all-rounders, Tyranitar, Urshifu, most of the speedsters I play, Absol, Zoroark, like, they make very good use of stacking items, and they're pretty okay at stacking, at the very least. But, like, in order to stack, you have to have points. And in order to have points, you have to knock out Pokemon. And the thing is, too many times, and I've typed this in his comment, but I want to demonstrate something alongside this, but too many times have I played a Pokemon with a stacking item, and for the record, when you're all queuing up and you're seeing, like, all your teammates, you can also see your items and see their items. You can see what items that they're holding. And most of the time, if I'm playing Tyranitar or Urshifu or something like that, I usually have a stacking item on them. And when I'm playing center, if I'm playing jungle, and I see that somebody has a stacking item on them, I usually prioritize their lane so they can get their stacks easier. But, like, not many people think that way. Not many people really think beyond themselves when they're playing games like this. So, too many times have I've gone down the lane as, like, as a Larvitar or Kubfu, and my teammate will just take every single bunny. All of them. Every one of them. And Larvitar and Kubfu, their entire gimmick is that they start off super weak. Super weak. God forbid I start playing Magikarp. But, like, they start off super weak, and they don't really have good secures in the first place. So, whether or not I get the bunny in the first place is a coin flip. But then, if I do get my 2 bunnies, or let's say I get 1 bunny and my teammate gets another bunny, my teammate doesn't care. They're not, like, paying attention to what the fuck is going on. They're just holding A and moving forward. So if I don't, like, absolutely get those bunnies, I have to fight my teammate to make sure that I at least get some points so I can stack with them. But my teammates don't care. They absolutely will take every single bunny. There will be times where, like, I would predict whether or not they're even paying attention to whether or not I have a stacking item on, and I won't even swing. I won't even swing at the bunnies. I'll just, like, hover around them and pretend that I'm about to get them. And I watch them take every single one as they get to the goal. In fact, sometimes I'll be laning with someone who's also wearing a stacking item themselves. And when you have a stacking item, it's in your best interest to hold as few points as possible, but at least one, because the more points you have, the longer it takes for you to score, and the harder it is to get your stats. There will be people who have stacking items who will take every single bunny, so I can't stack, I don't have any experience, they took all the experience, and they can't even stack because they have too many points now. It happens so fucking often. And it's like, well, alright, this lane is basically fucked already because we can't fucking, we're just gonna have to fight. You're basically on your own. I'm essentially a liability at this point, and you can't even stack. We can't score. So, it's either hope that the jungler comes in, which, in my experience, they never do. They always go wherever the fuck I'm not, and never rotate. Or, just hold off until the enemy team breaks the goal, and then hopefully, like, start farming from there, or focus on leveling up as best as it can. The weird clear, the entire point of the weird clear is to avoid this issue entirely. We're not playing on fucking esports teams, man. We're playing against random children online who don't give a single solitary damn about anybody but themselves. That's why we do this. We do this to make sure, to force that you get 2 bunnies, I get 2 bunnies, and we move on. It is within everyone's best interest that you don't fucking get greedy and just take everything. Like, I can't allow you to take everything, because that will fuck the lane. That's why we do it. There's nothing weird about it. It's math. 2 Pokemon, 4 bunnies, 2 each, even split. Like, it's I don't know what he finds weird about it. And what's weird about the example he gives, this is his video, by the way. I didn't edit this. Listen to what he says.
One is a huge pet peeve of mine, but don't do the weird clear. I don't know what this weird clear is, but it's where you run past the first 2 bumblebees, you try to get the other 2, you're slowly hitting them. By that time, the enemies have come all the way over from the other side, and they're...
He says the enemies have come from the other side. Look at the map. Look at the map. They're already half down the lane. Buzzwole's about to knock out this bunny. You're already halfway to killing these 2 at the same time. And meanwhile, on the opposite side of the screen, you have this Ralt and this Mewtwo. They're both attacking the first rabbit together over here. They're not doing the weird clear. They're all the way the fuck over here. They're already halfway down the lane. It's weird because, like, he's saying this, but what's happening on screen in the example that he's giving, hey,
I don't know
look.
what this weird clear is, but it's where you run past the first 2 bumblebees, you try to get the other 2, you're slowly hitting them. By that time, the enemies have come all the way over.
The enemies are nowhere close to their second goal. You've already passed yours. Let's keep going.
From the other side, and they're getting the last hits. Like, please, I don't know who does the weird clear. Never do the weird clear. You don't need it. You don't need to do it. Just try to get the last hits with your allies. Try to share 2 and 2. It's okay.
Why? Why do we have to try to share 2 and 2 when I can just force 2 and 2? I can just make him accept the fact that he's only getting 2 bunnies out of this lane. What's wrong with assuring that we both get the same amount of points? Or at the very least that I get some amount of points so I can stack. Like, what's wrong with that? And, like, on top of that, if they're not doing the weird clear, and I'm going straight to the regular bunnies, I'm already at the front. I'm gonna get to their goal before they do. And if you think I'm lying, let's continue.
If you don't get them all, don't do the weird clear. More often than doing the other clear, you can get yourself into trouble and actually lose experience to the other side if you do.
Here's what's crazy. He's saying all this. I don't know if he I don't know if he edits his own videos or his editor comes up with this stuff. But look in his example. We're all like, if we're the orange team, we're the ones who are doing the weird clear. We're at the goal already. We're already here. And look, they still have a bunny left. This Ralts hasn't even finished clearing the rabbits. We're already here. What he's saying is the polar opposite of what's going on the screen.
The other clear, you can get yourself into trouble and actually lose experience to the other side if
you lose experience to the other side. But you know what's crazy about that? You know what's super crazy about this, especially this example in particular? Guess what happens?
do this.
The Buzzwole got their last rabbit. They lost experience to the other side because they didn't do the weird clear.
It happens all the time. Please stop with the weird clear.
And then they both score. What the hell are you talking about? Bruh. Who... like... Like, did you not look at the... like... Am I crazy?
Weird clear is, but it's...
This Buzzwole had time to smack two of these bunnies by himself.
Where you run past the first two bumblebees, you try to get the other two, you're slowly hitting them. By that time, the enemies have come all the way over from the other side, and they're getting the last...
He's just lying through his teeth! Look at him!
Please. I don't know who does the weird clear. Never do the weird clear. It makes... You don't need it. You don't need to do it. Just try to get the last hits with your allies. Try to share...
And it's like, to what benefit? Like, why? Why am I... like, tell me why. Give me a reason why I wouldn't do this. And the reasons that you gave are not true in your own example. Like, you literally proved yourself wrong. So besides, oh, well, the enemy team will get there first. Try again.
2 and 2. It's okay if you don't get them all. Don't do the...
Even had time to take another bunny on our own side.
Weird clear more often than doing the other...
Actually, how do we end up with 4? What the fuck? Hold on. The math ain't mathin'.
Pet peeve of mine, but don't do the weird clear.
What am I looking at?
I don't know what...
He has 2.
This weird clear is, but it's where you run past the first two bumblebees, you try to get the other two, you're slowly hitting them. By that time, the enemies have come all the way over from the other side, and they're getting the last hits. Like, please. I don't know who does the weird clear. Never do the weird clear. It makes... You don't need it. You don't need to do it. Just try to get the last hits with your allies. Try to share 2 and 2. It's okay if you don't get them all.
How do they both have 4? Or was that... okay, the other bunnies didn't spawn in yet. Okay, never mind. But like, yeah, 4 and 4. Perfect. Whatever.
Don't do the...
And you're already in the center. You're already there. They haven't even made it yet.
Weird clear more often than doing the other clear, you can get yourself into trouble and actually lose experience to the other side if you do that.
And while he says that, as he says that, immediately after he said that sentence, bam, get your point stolen. Now you're stuck at level 2 dealing with the fucking Phantomp and a Buzzwole, and Mewtwo's kind of just skating along. This is you. This is you right now. You're about to get fucked. Like, dude.
Happens all the time. Please stop with the weird clear.
I don't get it. Like, I don't get how people can have like an idea or a thought, and they'll see visual proof on why it's a good idea, and still say, no, don't do it. Like, always do the weird clear. Always. Like, I don't know if these... because I don't know if these people are queuing together or not, and they agreed upon it. Who knows? That could be the case. It could be a whole coordinated effort. But the reason why we do this in solo queue is because people play with their eyes closed. And I don't trust... that's way too much trust to have on complete strangers in a collaborative effort to just coin flip on every single bunny for a chance to maybe get a stack off. It takes longer for you to attack. Like, you had a Mewtwo! Like, like that's the other thing. Is like, you had a Mewtwo with you to help you do it. And in the time it took for this Ralts to get here, they both got here and scored. And he even was able to take their bunny from them. Like, look at the screen. This is what I'm talking about. People just don't look at the screen, nor do they look at the map when they're making decisions. I don't get it. And I especially, like, don't understand how someone like Spraggles could, like, say something like this and then show something like this. Like, come on, man. Always do the real weird clear. Obviously, it's optimal. Look at it. Like, come on. Jesus.